Welcome back. It is December 27th, 2023, and this is our last episode of the year. We started this journey back in February, and I've grown so much in this. I know you guys have grown so much. I love all the feedback that I've been getting from my gamers, just telling us how, I really changed their perspective, or the information that they've been getting from some of our guests really was the missing gem they needed to take that next step. And I'm just so grateful. Glory be to God, because if it wasn't for him planting this seed in my spirit, I wouldn't be right here. And when I think about impact, when I think about value, being able to sit at this table and bring you information that you may not have access to, information that can change the trajectory of your life, information that can help you take your business to the next level, is so priceless to me, and it's so fulfilling to me. And I wake up every day knowing that, and that is so enough. So thank you guys so much for being a part of our gamer community. Thank you for choosing yourself. Thank you for saying yes to the journey. And I want you to know that here at Game Changers, we are always here to support you in your journey. So if you don't know me, I'm Siobhan Elise. I'm your host. And today we're going to do a bit of a recap. So every year, at the end of the year, typically around November, I get to looking back. I need to do an assessment of, what this year has brought me, what it has taught me, what it works and what doesn't, right? So yeah, it's about that time. You guys have been rocking with us since February, and there's been so many strategic episodes laid out to help you embark on this journey so that you can make 2023 your most groundbreaking year. So this year, we focused a lot on the mindset. We didn't go direct into, business structure and scaling and all those things, because I think it's super important to know what foundation and have good foundation before we start anything. The very first episode we opened up with was overcoming self-doubt. And that was really intentional, because self-doubt is in the underbelly when it comes to success killers, to dream killers. It's quiet, it's personal, it's intimate. And it's one of those things that can chip away at your idea before it even gets started. And I want us to take a moment to just do a little exercise here, okay? So stop what you're doing. Go ahead and grab a notepad, get your pen. I just want you to write some stuff down real quick, okay? I'll give you a few minutes. Okay, we're going to walk through this. Okay, you ready? I'm ready. So the first thing I want you to do is assess what opportunities has self-doubt robbed you of this year. Be specific. Write it down. If you want to include opportunities that you missed from the years to come, you're more than welcome to do so. I want you to write this down so you can just look at the truth of it, right? So the next thing I want you to write down, be specific. What about yourself are you actually doubting? So I'll share a few things with you. Some opportunities that self-doubt has robbed me of this year was some really incredible interviews. There was some guests that I had my eye on, and honestly, I was a little afraid to reach out to them because I just didn't feel super confident in, the value that we would be able to offer them in exchange for the value that they would give to us. And, it stopped me. And now that I'm at the tail end of this year, I have built a confidence, and I'm confident in the value that we bring here at Game Changers, regardless of the amount of reach we have. It is the quality of the content and the conversation that really sets us apart. And if anyone who is truly grounded and also committed to making purposeful and impactful change in business sees this, they will automatically resonate. So that's one thing that that's a blessing that I kind of block for myself, but I recognize it and I will be reaching out. Okay. I will be sending out some emails. All right. So the next thing I want you guys to do in our exercise, let's write down what steps have you taken to strengthen those weaknesses, to overcome those doubts, right? So I'll share another one with you. I have this really lame, really weird, like, I don't want to say fear of traveling, but I've been really hesitant about traveling because I think it is rooted in fear. I have this weird idea that I would get lost or distracted if I started to travel. So, like, don't laugh at me, but I don't have a passport, right? And I think that travel is one of the most incredible things we can do because it expands our mind. It takes us out of our own little bubble and it shows us how other people are living, right? It gives us a broader perspective. And I actually booked a trip. I'm heading to Puerto Rico this weekend. So it's baby steps, but it's a step and I'm proud, okay? And I'll be getting my passport. Ooh. Let's sip to that. Hold on, because I'm thirsty. So yes, that was my example. Write it down, make it plain. You know, what is it that you missed out on? Why is it that you felt like you didn't deserve that thing? And what are you doing? What actions are you taking to overcome that doubt? And once you just write that down and identify that, I want you to really celebrate yourself for getting clear, because I believe that is the first and most important step, is getting clear on where you are, being humble about it so that you can take the action and actually make the change. And it's important that we remember success is a combination of small, consistent, positive habits, choices, and decisions. And you just made one right now. So kudos to all of y'all. And our next episode that I wanted to bring back up was with Miss Ashley LaFavor. She really taught us how to embrace God's direction and walk in obedience. In our episode, Leaving Good for Great, she shared how she walked away from her was it 8-figure? I think 7-figure or 8-figure home healthcare agency. She separated from her spouse and she relocated to a new city. And she was super transparent and vulnerable with how people thought that she was crazy, how she thought that she was crazy, and how uncomfortable it was. But her story really showed us how the strength of obedience will see you through. And now she's doing amazing things in Texas. She actually just authored a book published with TBN. She's doing public speaking coaching, and God is really working through her, taking something that was once serving her legacy and now expanding it globally. And that is just always such a blessing. So whenever we get those nudges, whenever we get those pulls, even for me when it came to closing the spot and turning to Game Changers, it may seem crazy, but we have to know who God is. We have to know that his promise never returns void. And we have to know that it's always better. Yes, we may have to leave our comfort zone. Yes, it might seem like it's more difficult for a time. But in the long term, it is to elevate us. It is for the betterment of everyone connected to us. And at Game Changers, we're all about playing the long game. There are lots of ways that we can strive for success and get it. But we're here to really edify and teach how to build sustainable success in a way that truly fulfills you, in a way that truly not only impacts yourself, your legacy, but again, everyone connected to you. Because I don't know about you, But for me, when I leave this earth, I want everyone to know that I was here. I want to know that my life meant something. It doesn't pay for me to have all the accolades and the fame and say she was really wealthy, she was really pretty, she was really whatever. No, I want people to say, you know what? When I met Siobhan, I started doing this. It changed the way that I went about business, or it changed the way that I viewed myself. It changed the way that, I was even living life, and I'm grateful for that experience. And I know through meeting her that God is for me. That is my personal goal. And I can't tell you guys what to do, but that feeling is something that nothing can compete with. Because again, you're able to wake up every day and you're right now in gratitude, in joy, and peace, and love, regardless of what your situation looks like. And yeah, it's a vibe. It's lit over here. That's all I got to say. All right. So another episode I wanted to touch on. We talked about the values of having intimate community in business. And when I say intimate community, I mean real friends. Real friends who really understand your entrepreneurial journey. They may be in business for themselves or they may not. But it's important to have like those day ones. And it's important for us folks to know that, because I think it's really normalized for us to look at other entrepreneurs that we've grown up with or we've known for a long time as competition, and we don't give our true selves or our full selves to those relationships. And I got to sit down with my very best friend, my sister Jazz Monique, who's a serial entrepreneur doing amazing things in the entertainment space here in Miami. And oh my God, like we just pour into each other in every season. And it's so important to really have that friend who understands business, because it's not like any other experience. It's not like going to school for a degree. It's not like having children. It's not like, trying to scale up in a company. It's a completely different beast, and it's unique for each of us. And sometimes it can feel very lonely if you don't have anyone around you that, one, understands the journey, and two, understands and knows you and loves you and has your best interest at heart. There have been seasons where we've really served each other. If I forget who I am, my girl's there to remind me, like, oh, Siobhan, like, that's not you. What's going on? Are you okay? If I'm ever afraid, of anything, like my girls or even my guy friends are there to be like, hey, listen, you got this. You did this, you did that. Those relationships are your foundation, and they are what grounds us. And it's so important that we're grounded in this journey, because it's so flighty, it's so fast moving, it's so erratic. We need a core, we need a center. And in my journey, it has truly been the friendships that I've cultivated. So that was a game-changing episode. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. It's called Business Bestie with my girl, Jazz Monique. And then we tapped into something a little bit more on the business side, which was the power of your vision, like building visionary success. That was with the CEO of Brick Group, Any Alameda. And he's like so cool, because he is known for wedding photography. He's a celebrity photographer, and he has a really unique cinematic style to his work. But once I got a chance to speak with him, he shared his background, and he shared, like, from day one, he always saw Bricks Group as a big brand, and he kind of built it with that vision. And we're now, maybe 8 years later, seeing that vision manifest. And I remember asking him, I said, well, what made you name it Bricks Group instead of saying, Shots by Any? And he said, I always saw it being bigger than myself, and now it actually is. So I thought that was a really dope gem, because a lot of times when we're small business owners, or when we're even starting a business based off a service that we're providing, We can only see as far as our next client, right? And we don't really think about what do I want this business to be in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, right? Let's start thinking about that, because there are certain strategies that we can be implementing into the business now that matches that vision 20 years down the road. And it's that vision that is going to set us apart in whatever space that we're in. So, yes, building visionary success was the best. The best, the best, the best. And we haven't had an episode on this topic just yet, but I really want to touch on this note. Before the year's out, I want everyone to define what your success is. What does success mean to you? I'm in America, which is a capitalist society. Very much so consumer based. It's always more, more, more. The man with $1 million wants $2 million. The man with $2 million wants 20. And it's just like this ongoing thing. And since we are in the seed phases of our business, I want you to understand that it's not about the goal. Or I won't say it's not. It's about whatever you want to be about. But it doesn't have to be about the goal. And just take a look at some people who are on that track. Take a look at people who have done it. Really a close look, and decide, like, is that really what you want? Do you want to sacrifice quality time with your family? Do you want to sacrifice building lasting relationships in your life? Do you want to sacrifice peace and solitude for $1, for a goal, for a trophy? Because there is another option. Like, you don't have to do it that way. And it's not to say that you can't attain that success, because my God is a God of more. And we live in abundance, prosperity, and all of that. However, there's a way to attain that where that is not the goal. And for me, like I said, the game-changing moment came when God planted the whole idea for Game Changers on my heart. And he said, listen, honey, I'm going to take care of you. You don't have to worry about the how. But also know that your gifts were not just for you to hoard. They're to share. They're to impact. And if you're obedient, and if you step up to the plate and you do the work to get that gift out, like, everything will go so much smoother. It will be so much more fulfilling. And I've been doing that, and I feel so aligned. And like I said earlier, like, it gives me a bigger purpose. And I know what it's like to be living for, the next financial mark. I know what it's like to live for the next spike in investments or the next accolade. It's super empty. You have a high for a minute, and then it's gone, and then you're on the hamster wheel again. And there's so many things in the background, so many valuable, savory things that we're completely missing and taking for granted. So, like I said, success for me is impact, it's love, it's audacity, it's freedom and knowledge of self. And I invite you to determine what success really means for you. Take money off the table, take status off the table. What is it that you can do? If you knew today was your last day on earth, what is it that you could do to make you happy and whole, knowing you did not have another day on this earth? So that's how we stepping into 2024. Period. I'm excited, man. Like, we've grown so much. I'm here with Sheba. At first, it was just me and him and one camera. Y'all should see it up in here, okay? Like the growth is just growing. We got Mito helping us out with Bricks Pod, of course. The app is getting closer and closer to launch. Our Game Nation, Boss Nation app. We are stepping into live shows of 2024, and like, there's just so much growth in store. And I'm excited. I'm excited to start implementing some actual tools. Like, y'all need some workbooks because we can listen to all the podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. But if we're not actually writing this down and putting this into action, then it's just like chitter chatter. And we're not about chitter chatter here. We're about changing the game. We're about getting in the mud. So I'm super excited to roll out some digital products for you guys to really help you practically get into that next step of ownership, whether it be forming your LLC, getting funding, scaling your business, finding distribution. Like, we're going to get our hands a little more in the business side next year. So that's all I got for y'all today. Have a happy, blessed, prosperous, joyful, peaceful, loving 2023 or 2024 new year and all that jazz. Thank you guys for being a part of my family. Like, I feel like we're family now, and I appreciate that. And of course, thank you to our sponsors here at Boss Nation Network. Making dreams come true per usual. And if you haven't already connected with us online, make sure you follow us on Instagram at GameChangersXPod. And I know you're seeing us here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and those bell notifications so you are the first to know when we drop new game-changing content. Until next week, bye.